This is Late Edition News at 10 with Ann Gownley. Sports with Eric DeBerardinis. And meteorologist Joe Garbace.
First responders in the mountaintop area were called to help rescue a man from a creek who fell in while hiking. And tonight, it's our top story. Good evening. This is WYLN's Late Edition, Greater Hazelton's only local news broadcast for Friday, February 13th, 2015. I'm Ann Gownley. A 34-year-old hiker fell into a small creek near a wooded area in Mountaintop this morning, and emergency crews were called in to rescue him. Ethan Hoyt was hiking alone near Fairview and Rice Township border, and at some point he fell into a small creek. Hoyt immediately called his wife, who then called 911. His wife walked into the woods to find him. First responders found Hoyt and his wife by pinging his cell phone. The Lifelight helicopter also helped direct the rescuers to Hoyt. Rescuers say the bitter cold temperatures were a major concern. Hoyt was placed into an ambulance and taken to a hospital to be checked out. His injuries were not life-threatening. The newest member of the Hazelton Police Department was sworn in today. Our Gary Perna was there and has the story.
The Hazelton Police Department has a new police officer, and she's no stranger to the Hazelton area. Officer Brent Green worked for the West Hazelton Police Department before being hired for the city force. Green took the oath of office this morning in City Hall. She told us she's very excited to get to work protecting the residents of Hazelton.
It's very exciting. You know, I'm just honored to be here. As far as being, in the borough, I'm familiar with the area. I'm excited to work with all the other officers. This was something that I've aspired to for a long time, so very glad to be here. I'm looking forward to just working with the guys. Like you said, I'm the second female officer. The other female, she's awesome. I'm just really glad to be here with them.
Chief DeAndrea said Green is the second hire in the past 6 months, which brings the force to 39 officers. He is glad and very excited to see Green sworn in.
It's important in so many different ways. First of all, it's another police officer out on the road. That's a win for the city and the police department automatically. Officer Green, who's badge number 181, is going to be another great asset for the community, adding another female officer. That's always big, simply because females can do things and relate to other people, and sometimes you need to mix it up a little bit. You need big, strong, burly officers as well as not so burly, such as myself. You need females, males. It's just another tool for us. It's going to be great for us to add Officer Green. We're all very excited to have her start.
Green will be hitting the streets with a training officer for the next few months. In Hazelton, for WYLN's Late Edition, I'm Gary Perna.
2 garbage workers were taken to the hospital this morning after their garbage truck lost its brakes. The accident happened around 6:30 this morning on the Dutch Hill section of Tamaqua. These pictures are from TamaquaArea.com. According to firefighters on scene, the driver of the truck told them that he tried his best to keep the truck under control after the truck lost its brake at the top of East Elm Street. They added that the truck continued down East Elm Street, where it snapped a utility pole and the intersection of Market Street before it finally came to a rest in a wooded area. PPL crews were on scene to fix the pole. Tamaqua police are continuing to investigate this crash. Governor Tom Wolf is placing a temporary ban on the death penalty in the state of Pennsylvania. He announced a moratorium today until he receives and reviews a report from the Pennsylvania Task Force and Advisory Commission on Capital Punishment. Wolf will grant a reprieve for death row inmates, but their confinement will not change. Wolf stated that it is not an expression of sympathy for the inmates. The decision is based on a flawed, expensive, and unjust system. Valentine's Day is tomorrow, but some seniors at the Hazelton Active Adult Center were celebrating today. The seniors enjoyed some dancing, singing, along with food and drinks, and one lucky man and woman were crowned king and queen.
Well, I didn't think I would be. I mean, I didn't, everybody hopes, because it is an honor just because it's elderly friends and that, but it is great. It made me feel good about myself, and it made me also feel like, hey, somebody likes me. made me feel good. Came in, we had lunch, and after lunch, they put goodies out. We had some of those, and then the music came, which is fantastic. Bill Job is a good DJ, and we danced up a storm.
Well, I come most every day for lunch, and today we had the Valentine party, and they were selecting King and Queen, so then we had the party after that at 1. So that's what brought me down today. Yeah, I had a real great time. I was surprised to be the king today. It's an honor, and I appreciate all the votes that we all voted for King and Queen.
Both the King and Queen told our Mike Lula that this is one of the best days they had in a while. The center has events like this one all year round to keep the seniors active. The center is located on East Broad Street in downtown Hazleton. Our Lady of Grace Church in Hazleton is holding its 5th annual soup sale this Saturday, February 14th. The soup sale will be held at Madonna Hall, attached to the church, beginning at 9 a.m. Patrons will have the opportunity to purchase several different homemade soups that will be for sale. The homemade soup will be sold for $6 a quart or $3.50 a pint. The list of soups available are up on your screen now, so if you would like some homemade soup this cold winter season, make sure to stop by Madonna Hall at Our Lady of Grace Church in Hazleton on Vine Street this Saturday beginning at 9 a.m. Time now for a quick first look at our forecast with Chief Meteorologist Joe Garbacik, who is in the Weather Center with the latest on our weekend forecast. Joe?
Thank you very much, Ann. It continues to be cold outside our station. We're only at 9 degrees, but with some of those winds at times, it's making it feel like it's below zero. We have between 5, 10, 15 mile per hour winds, but at least right now, we don't have to worry about any precipitation. We continue to be dry, but that's not going to last too much longer. Live 35 Skycast Doppler, nothing to show you, but we do have some snow to talk about in our forecast for tomorrow and some dangerously cold wind chill factors for Sunday. All of that I'll explain to you coming up a little bit later on.
Thanks, Joe. Coming up, Hazleton's police chief, Frank D'Andrea, is speaking out about a prank that put his officers and the public in danger. Plus, Chief Meteorologist Joe Garbacik will have another look at our weekend forecast. Stay tuned. More Late Edition is coming up only on WYLN.
Why should you choose Penn State Hazleton?
We have new scholarship money.
There's no application fee.
When you visit campus.
Opportunities to do research. Students are scoring internships
all over the country.
You can start here and finish here.
Or at another Penn State campus. We have fun.
We have the Lion.
Penn State is ranked #1 by corporate recruiters.
We have the largest alumni network
in the world.
It's your time.
Penn State.
Penn State lives here.
Check us out at psu.edu/visithazleton.
A winning smile. It's not the secret to success, but it sure helps. Protect your smile by visiting Dr. Weiss for complete dental services. Dr. Weiss offers a full-service denture laboratory on premises, offering dentures in one day. 3 dentists, 4 hygienists, and a team of caring technicians and assistants specializing in quality dentures and repairs, complete general dentistry, extractions, cleaning, and caps. Dr. Weiss, where you can have new dentures in one day.
The Hazleton unit of the American Cancer Society presents the 37th annual telethon. Give hope, celebrate life. The American Cancer Society's annual telethon will be held Saturday, February 28th at the Laurel Mall in Hazleton and broadcast live on WYLN TV 35 from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Join us for a day filled with great entertainment. Help us celebrate the telethon's 37th year as we raise money for a cure. The American Cancer Society's telethon is made possible by these businesses.
It was meant to be a prank, but it did not end well. Now the 2 people behind the prank are facing charges. WYLN's Gary Perna spoke with Police Chief Frank D'Andrea about the incident.
2 men are facing disorderly conduct charges after they attempted a Friday the 13th style prank in the city of Hazleton this past Tuesday. But when the cops showed up, the whole thing backfired. Hazleton Police Chief Frank D'Andrea said he could not believe that someone would do this.
Unfortunately, in today's day and age, somebody thought it was going to be funny to pretend that your vehicle was involved in a hit and run, obviously a fatal hit and run. Mm-hmm. They pull into the 15th Street car wash with what appeared to be blood all over the hood, the driver's front hood. They get out of the car in the stall to wash the vehicle, and they get a body over their shoulder and put it into the trunk. The body ended up being a mannequin that was half covered with a garbage bag, and the blood ended up being ketchup and barbecue sauce.
The prank looked like a homicide, and the pranksters caught it all on video.
The individuals, the driver, the stager of the vehicle, was arrested. They were arrested for disorderly conduct. The individual was very fortunate that the district attorney's office said in this particular instance it's not risking a catastrophe because no one got hurt.
When police got the call, officers raced to the scene from all over the city and from outside of the city.
We observed the car with the blood on its hood. The driver is in the vehicle with the passenger. We think that we're stopping a felony vehicle. We've caught them in, which is why you race to the scene, lights and sirens at high rates of speed, because you know you only have seconds, possibly minutes, to capture that car and the people involved before it disappears. Once it's cleaned and it's gone, it's just another white car. And so because of it, yes, we race lights and siren because of the panic calls to 911. We get there, we find out that the individual says, oh no, that's barbecue sauce and ketchup. Here's the body in the trunk. They open the trunk. It's a mannequin with a garbage bag. I recognize that they were saying to us they didn't mean to offend or upset anybody. But if you stop to think about it, it is far from funny.
Police Chief Frank DeAndrea said the police department is in the business of arresting, and if somebody pulls a prank like that again and they're caught by someone calling 911, they will go and arrest them and charge with disorderly conduct and any other charges that are related to it. Chief DeAndrea says he has not found one person who thought this was funny at all. In Hazleton, for WILN's Late Edition, I'm Gary Perna.
Thank you, Gary. Coming up next, Chief Meteorologist Joe Garbacic has details on how low the temperatures are expected to drop this Valentine's Day weekend. Stay tuned.
Well, I'll never forget it. 1 minute, we were talking about going to the movies, and the next, Maggie could barely speak. It was a stroke. I thought I was going to lose her. But I never saw doctors work so fast. Anyway, she's coming home tomorrow. I just hope she doesn't yell at me for killing all the plants.
During these changing times, is your insurance program up to date? I'm local Allstate agent Gary McNeilis. I invite you to come into our office or give us a call. We'll help you be sure that you have the proper coverage to take care of all your family's needs at a price you can afford. Now more than ever, you need to be in good hands to protect everything that's important to you. Our team of insurance professionals and I will be honored to serve you. Are you in good hands?
The annual soup sale at Our Lady of Grace Church will be held at Madonna Hall on Saturday, February 14th from 9 until the soup is sold. $6 a quart, $3.50 a pint. All questions should be directed to Anna Mae Palermo, 570-455-7286. Whitetail Preserve is having a spring trap and skeet league. Register for trap, skeet, or both by calling 570-384-2314. Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. The league starts March 3rd.
Well, we have the cold weather across northeastern and central Pennsylvania, and it's really not going to go anywhere anytime soon. It's even going to get colder before all is said and done as we head into the second part of the weekend. And we can start to talk about what's going to be happening across our region. And it's going to continue to be very cold. And the cold weather is going to stick around as we head through Saturday, as we head through Sunday, as we start going, even as we go into early next week, we're going to continue to see that cold weather sticking around with us. And you know what? We're going to be looking at wind chills 15, 20, 25 degrees below zero. So those are some dangerously cold wind chills you don't want to be a part of, especially as we go into our Sunday and going into next week. In addition to that, we have some snow to talk about in our forecast. That is going to be happening as we start going into the daytime hours of tomorrow. So we got definitely a lot to talk about with this particular weather forecast. But you know what? Today wasn't too bad of a day for the most part. We had high pressure in control, but we had to deal with those cold temperatures across our area. And again, those cold temperatures will continue to stay throughout the next several days across all of our entire viewing area. And we also have, like I said, some snow to talk about as we head into tomorrow. All right, Live 35 Skycast Doppler, nothing to show you. It continues to be dry across all of our area. 8 degrees, our live Lehigh tire conditions outside our television station in Hazleton, and those winds are going to pick up, and that of course will make it feel colder than what the actual air temperature indicates. Temperatures throughout our area right now, we continue to be in the teens, and statewide still continuing to be very cold, generally in the teens. Here's a look at our satellite and radar. This is the next weather system. You can see it up through Michigan. And that's going to make its way down toward the south and east, and before all is said and done, we're going to be looking at the chance of some of that snow as we head into tomorrow. We'll start out on a relatively light note, and then as we go through the afternoon hours, it'll pick up in intensity. Those darker blues, that was indicating a Arctic front that's going to come through, and by tomorrow evening, once that front comes through, we'll be looking at some of those snow squalls across our area, and that has the potential of producing some snow squalls coming down maybe 1-2 inches per hour, so we got to watch out for that. And look at these wind chill factors as we head through tonight, tomorrow, and specifically going into our Sunday and Sunday night. Boy, it is just going to be downright cold. Look at Sunday morning. It's going to be feeling like it's anywhere between -5 to minus 10 degrees to even minus 15 degrees below zero. But again, that front comes through and it's going to bring in those very cold conditions, and we're going to have to deal with some more cold weather for the next couple of days. There's a look at the 7-day forecast, and that's what we're going to be looking at. Cold weather over the next several days, and there's not going to be relief in it anytime soon. We'll be back with more after the break.
Life has its twists and turns. It can take many different shapes. But a good retirement plan changes with your life. And as we talk about what you're putting away and how much you'll need to retire, what was uncertain becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
S.J. Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric, Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call S.J. Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
At Cuck's Turkey Farm, we are family owned and operated for over 45 years, and we consistently strive to produce premium poultry. We offer the finest all-natural country poultry, antibiotic-free, all-vegetarian fed with superior white meat yield and exceptional flavor. So we invite you to experience the unique natural taste of our poultry for your enjoyment and your health. Give us a call or stop in today.
To date, based on 90,000 complaints received by the Treasury Inspector General for Tax Administration, approximately 1,100 victims have been identified. Those victims combined lost an estimated total of $5 million from IRS phone scams. Today, WYLN tried contacting a scammer who left this voicemail on one of our viewers' home phones.
Hello. We have been trying to reach you. This call is officially a final notice from IRS record to return the call. The issue at hand is extremely time-sensitive. I am Officer Julie Smith from Internal Revenue Service, and the hotline to my division is 585-444-7134. Don't disregard this message and do return the call before we take any action against you. Goodbye and take care.
The IRS commissioner said, quote, there are clear warning signs about these scams which continue at high levels throughout the nation, unquote. According to the IRS, the first thing taxpayers need to remember is that the first time they hear from the IRS is through a correspondence sent through mail. From the phone call, our viewer, the person on the other line left a phone number for them to call back. We called that number back, and this is what we heard.
Mike.
If you would like to make and receive calls anywhere in the United States absolutely free, simply visit magicjack.com and begin making calls for free. It takes only seconds. That's magicjack.com. The Magic Jack number called has not yet been assigned to a customer. Please check the number you've dialed and dial again.
That number took us directly to the main line for Magic Jack, a device used to make local and long-distance calls to the United States and Canada using an existing internet connection. Once again, it's important for taxpayers and those who receive these phone calls to know that the IRS will never ask for a credit card, debit card, or prepaid card information over the telephone. They will never insist that taxpayers use a specific payment method to pay tax obligations. If you believe that you have been contacted by a scammer, you are urged to call 1-800-366-4484 or visit tigta.gov. Coming up next here on Late Edition, Eric DiBaradinis is live at Martz Hall in Pottsville as the Schuylkill League Championship games get underway. Plus, Gabriella Justin has details on this weekend's high school basketball matchup between the Hazleton area Cougars and the Crestwood Comets. More Late Edition is coming up only on WYLN.
All Care Home Care, the health care that you need in the comfort and privacy of your own home.
At All Care Home Care, our caring and compassionate staff of skilled nurses, occupational speech, physical therapists, dietitian, social worker, and home health aides will give you the professional care you need. Call 459-3002.
With All Care Home Care, you will feel so much better and be able to do so much more.
Remember, it's still your choice. For your care, call us and we'll be there.
Here at Martz Hall for the Schuylkill League Finals. It's packed right now. Cars are filing in for as long as I can see. Tamaqua appearing in their first title game in 21 years. They're facing Pottsville, who's playing on their home floor and being in the championship game for the 6th year in a row. But the Blue Raiders have a little bit of confidence brewing after their semifinal win on Wednesday and are excited for this opportunity.
You know, it's probably arguably the best high school gym in the state, and you know, again, that's something for our kids. I mean, it's a great opportunity, and they deserve to be in places like this and get media coverage and having the gym filled.
If anything, it's probably nerves. I mean, this is the greatest place to play as a high school kid. I mean, I never experienced anything like this in my life, but it was just awesome, and I think the nerves got to us, but we were able to overcome that in the second half. Definitely, we got one game under our belt. I mean, you can look out there and look at all the people, so I could see how we were a little nervous in the beginning, but we definitely having one game under the belt helps.
Unbeaten Pottsville has won their 2 games against Tamaqua this season by an average of 22 points per contest. On the girls' side, Minersville back in the championship game, this year facing North Schuylkill. The Lady Miners aiming for a repeat in just a few minutes and feel prepared to handle the pressure of playing at Martz Hall.
It's a big factor just for the experience itself, but you can't simulate game situations at all, and that's why we want to really beef up our non-league schedule this year to get ready for this type of atmosphere.
We played not just Schuylkill Leagues here, but a couple of playoff games in districts, and that helps because we really settled in, and our bench is really deep, and they got a lot of minutes last year, so with that last year, it helped this year, just easing into it.
The exciting weekend of hoops will continue on Sunday with a tie-breaking matchup in the Wyoming Valley Conference. Gabriella Justin previews the 3rd clash of the season between Hazleton and Crestwood.
February is commonly known as the month of red, the month of love.
And on Sunday at 2:30 p.m. in Berwick, you'll definitely be seeing plenty of red. But the only kind of love you'll be seeing between these two rival teams is the love that they share for the game of basketball.
So you'll have to wait for Sunday for that Hazelton-Crestwood rematch, but in just 5 minutes, the Girls Schuylkill League Final will tip off between Minersville and North Schuylkill. Tamaqua and Pottsville boys to follow that. I'm going to go inside and watch the games because it's cold. Joe Garbachik's going to tell you about that cold coming up in weather. Stay tuned to Late Edition News.
Whitetail Preserve is having a spring trap and skeet league. Register for trap, skeet, or both by calling 570-384-2314. Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. The league starts March 3rd. Think you have what it takes to be WYLN's next cooking show personality? Send us your name, contact information, a picture, and in 50 words or less, tell us why you should be Granny in our new Granny's Kitchen Show. Our new Granny's Kitchen Show host will have the opportunity to prepare heritage recipes and share cooking, crafting, and other helpful tips from years gone by. Email ltolan@WYLNTV.com or mail WYLN 35, 1057 East 10th Street, Hazleton, Pennsylvania 18201. Do you have what it takes? Send in your application today.
All right, welcome back. Well, we don't have no precipitation to talk about across our area. We continue to be dry. Live 35 Skycast Doppler. Temperatures continue to fall. They'll fall through the rest of the overnight hours, and we have some very cold temperatures to talk about as we head through this upcoming weekend. Right now, though, temperatures are in the teens. They're actually not too bad across our area, even statewide if you have to do any type of traveling through this evening. 10 degrees in Mount Pocono, 20 in Williamsport, 16 degrees and State College. Satellite and radar, this is the next weather system that will be coming into our area. It's not packing much of a punch. It's going to be more of a nuisance, but it's going to come also in the front of a cold front, and as that front comes through our area, it's going to trigger some very high winds and some dangerously cold wind chills. Watch these deeper shades of blue coming through. That's an indication of the front as we head into later tomorrow evening. With that front, that will be the heaviest of the snow, some snow squalls. Snow squalls, you can have 1, 2 or so inches per hour, so watch that if you have to travel tomorrow. We'll have that snow. It'll start out light. We'll be on and off from time to time, and then as that front comes through tomorrow evening, that's really the big thing because it will trigger those squalls across our area, and it's going to bring up those winds, and we're going to be looking at 15, 20, 25 or so miles per hour, even 30 mile per hour winds, and with those wind chill factors, it's going to even make it feel colder than what the actual air temperature indicates, all because of this front. And you know what? This cold weather is not going to go anywhere anytime soon. It's going to continue to stick with us over the next several days, and the wind chill factors as we go into our Sunday night, we're going to be looking at wind chills possibly minus 15 to minus 30 degrees below zero. So be prepared for that, as not just one front comes through, it's going to bring in cold air, but the second Arctic surge comes through our Sunday. That's really going to pack more of a punch than the one even we're going to get tomorrow. And boy, oh boy, look at these numbers. This is Sunday. This is what it's going to feel like across our area. Anywhere between minus 10 to minus 30 degrees below zero. Well, here's a look at the extended forecast, and that cold weather stays with us. It just does not want to go anywhere anytime soon. 18 tomorrow. Some of that snow around. For the most part, maybe 2, 3, 4, maybe as much as 5 inches. Hard one to call at this point in time. Some of the later models coming out later this evening and tonight, you get a little bit better idea on the timing of everything, specifically that front, but very easily get caught in those snow squalls. You could pick up a quick 2, even 3 inches of snow in a short amount of time period. Be careful traveling tomorrow. And there's that bitterly cold temperatures for Sunday. 5 degrees only, and like minus 7 as we go into Sunday night. Those wind chills will be minus 15 to minus 30 below zero. So the kids probably on Monday at this point in time
will be 2 hours
getting a delay. Yeah.
I just want to remind everyone that this Monday, starts the evening edition here at WYLN. It kind of gets the two, but evening edition is at 5:30. Late edition is at 10 p.m. So make sure you tune in to the premiere of evening edition Monday through Friday at 5:30. Have a wonderful weekend, and of course, stay warm.